Hello guys, how are you? I think all are doing great. So in today's class, we will tell and discuss about the one of the most important topic of organic chemistry, that is the difference between SN2 and SN1 and SN2 reactions. Alright. So in today's class, I will tell you the difference between SN1 and SN2 reactions, as well as I will tell you the mechanisms of both and the energy profile diagrams, and later on we will discuss some important questions which will asked on your board examination as well as your competitive examinations. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, before starting, I will tell you what is the basic meaning of SN1 mechanism and the SN2 mechanism. Alright, so before starting the concept, we have to just understand what is SN1 and what is SN2. Okay, so for this, SN1 means, first of all, we have to understand what is 1 means. 1 indicates the unimoleculars. Unimolecular. Alright, I will tell about unimolecular later on, but first of all, we have to understand what is SN1. SN1 indicates unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. That unimolecular means the rate depends only on the one molecules. Okay, I will explain it later on when I will discuss the mechanism of this reaction. First of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of SN1 reaction. So unimolecular nucleophilic substitution, and similar in same pattern, we can understand what is SN2 mechanism. SN2 is 2 means bimolecular. Yes, that means while we discuss about the mechanism of SN2 mechanisms, there must be 2 molecular that taking part in the rate reactions, rate step. Alright, so SN2 means bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Clear? So first of all, we have to understand what is SN1 and SN2 mechanisms, or the full form of SN1 and SN2. So SN1 means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution and SN2 means bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Okay, now let's talk about some differences. So first of all, we'll take one reaction. Suppose there is alkyl halide RX. This is alkyl halide, and we will put some nucleophile, because name itself says that nucleophilic substitution. That means one nucleophile will substitute other nucleophile and take its place. So what will happen over here is, suppose if I tell you the mechanism, this is the just simple reaction, and here is the mechanism, how this reaction will proceed. So what will happen over here is, in step 1, alkyl halide, which is more electronegative. You must know that you know very well that halogen is more electronegative than carbon. Alkyl halide, this is the alkyl part, that means it has a carbon in it. So halogen is more electronegative. Therefore, these two bonded electron who will attract, halogen will attract to itself, and it will become R positive, because the both electron will go towards the halogen, and it will carry positive charge, and halogen, it will carry negative charge and become halide ion, X negative, and these two electrons, it will detached from this molecule. Okay, this is a complete molecule, but later on, while because of its electronegative atom, it will attract these two electrons and detached from the compound. Alright, now step 2, what will happen? Now, as soon as the carbocation, this is known as the carbocation, because the positive charge present on the carbon. If you know about the R group, that is alkyl part. Alkyl is just a carbon. It is a carbon and which is carrying positive charge. That means carbon containing positive charge, which means it is a carbocation. And on step 2, carbocation is there, and we are giving a nucleophile. Nucleophile is electron rich species. So nucleophile will give its electron pair to this, and it will attach to this alkyl part, that is it will form R nucleophile. So this is the complete product. So what is going to happen here? What is happening here? halide part is removing and new nucleophile is adding. So both are the nucleophile. If we say about there is X minus, so this is also a nucleophile. So one nucleophile is substituting other nucleophile. One nucleophile is substituting other nucleophile and forming the product. That's why we'll call it nucleophilic substitution, because both are the nucleophile. Attacking group is the attacking group, it is the leaving group. Both attacking and leaving groups are the same, that is having same characteristics, not same but having the same characteristics, that is both are the nucleophile. Therefore we'll call it as nucleophilic substitution. Alright, so the final product will be R, Nu, and halide ions will detach from the main compound. So this is the proper mechanisms of this type of reactions. Alright, so what will happening here, main you have to remember this, the main thing is there is the formation of carbocation. So whenever the formation of carbocation, we have to check the stable carbocation among the given options. Suppose we have 2 or 3 type of carbocation, that is 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. So more reactive is the 3 degree carbocation. As you know that 3 degree carbocation is more stable than 2 than 1. Alright, we'll discuss it on the questions. Now first of all, I will tell you why it is called unimolecular reaction. So now if we compare these two steps, first of all we have to understand which is the rate depending step, because in the multi-step reaction, rate determining step is only the slowest step. So which is the slowest step? If we check these two reactions, in what is happening in the first step, see, it is the compound or the molecule which is breaking in two parts. Definitely it is a stable compound which is breaking into unstable ions. These are the unstable ions. Ions are always unstable. But in the second step, these are the unstable ions and forming the stable compound. So of course, any stable compound does not want to get unstable. Any stable compound does not want to get unstable. But any unstable compounds or ions want to get stabilized. So this step is quick because these are unstable, they want to stabilize quickly. But this step is slow. Why? Because this is stable but these are forming unstable ion. So stable to unstable, that means this is your slow step and this is your fast step. Understand why it is fast step? Because unstable ions are forming a stable compounds. So they will do quickly because they need to stabilize, they need to get stable. Everyone want to get stable in their life, so they also want to get stable, so they will do a fast step, fast reaction. But here it is the unstable it is the stable molecule and they are forming ions which are unstable, because ions are always unstable. So they will not do the proper or fast reaction. Clear? Okay, so now we know that rate depend on the slow step, rate depend on slow step. And which one is the slow step? So by using the concept of stability and instability, we already find that first step is the slow step. So rate depend only on the, that means rate is directly proportional to the alkyl halide. In first step we are already seeing the alkyl halide. So rate depend only on the alkyl halide, not on the nucleophile, because nucleophile is adding on the second step. So rate depend only on the alkyl halide. That's why rate depend only on the one molecule. That's why this reaction is known as unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Clear? Rate depend only on the one molecule. That's why this type of reaction is known as unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. While on other hand, if we talk about SN2 reaction, so if we take the same example, suppose methyl group, halogen, and if we adding nucleophile, so what will the product over here? So before writing the product, I will explain you the mechanism. So how this SN2 mechanism proceed. So for this we have to understand the concept, simple and similar. What will going to happen here? Because of electronegativity, these two electron will attracted toward the X, that is halide ions, and it will as soon as the halide ions will attract these electrons, what we will get? We will get this, that is methyl carbocation. You can see that CH3 means methyl carbocation and X minus. Alright, but the main problem over here is methyl carbocation is unstable. It cannot form. We cannot form methyl carbocation. Methyl carbocation is most unstable compound. Okay, so we cannot form methyl carbocation. So definitely this type of two-step will not happen over here, because we cannot form methyl carbocation. It is the most unstable. We know that the order of carbocation is 3 degree, then 2 degree, then 1 degree, then methyl carbocation. This is the order of carbocation. So methyl carbocation is the least stable and it cannot form. 1 degree and methyl carbocation are most unstable carbocation, and they won't form. They cannot form. Alright. So what we have to do is, first of all we have to understand that why methyl carbocation is not possible, because it is unstable. Alright. So what will happen over here is, as soon as halide ion will attract these two bonded electron and will detach, at the same time nucleophile will attach from the back side. Why? Because from the front side the halide ion, it is also a nucleophile, it is detaching. So from the to minimize the steric effect or to minimize the repulsion, other nucleophile will attach from the back side. So when it attaches to the back side, suppose I will tell you the transition state, it will goes through a transition state. So from this side halide ion is removing and from back side nucleophile is attaching. Okay, so this is the kind of, you can say that a transition state. If you want to see what will happening over here is, so at the same time halide ion is removing and this nucleophile is attaching from the back side. Alright, and the transition state overall carries a negative charge. Alright, because it will carry a partial negative and it will carry the partial positive charge. If you want to draw or make partial negative and partial positive, so nucleophile will attacking and halide ion is removing from the compound. So on the final stage what will happen, now all the halide ions will replaced, and what we'll get is the nucleophile will attached. So this is your final product. So this will get your final product. Alright, so what is the advantage of doing this by attacking the nucleophile in the same step? We will not get the methyl carbocation or 1 degree carbocation while doing this. Alright, so I'm just writing the product. So this is the product of SN2 reactions or SN2 mechanisms. Alright, so while talking about the rate, so we can say that rate, there is only one step. It is a multi-step, two-step reaction, but SN2 reaction is only a single-step reaction, and rate depend on the both. That is, rate depend on alkyl halide as well as nucleophile. The reaction is possible only when nucleophile is strong. If it is strong nucleophile, that means attacking nucleophile should be stronger than leaving nucleophile. Then only reaction is possible. Otherwise, reaction is not possible. Alright. So rate depend on two molecules. That is, depend on alkyl halide as well as nucleophile. Nucleophile should be strong. Alright. That's why in this case rate depend on only two molecules. That's why it is called bimolecular. And hence we'll call it as bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. But in this case rate depend only on the one molecule, that's why it is called unimolecular. Alright, in this case if nucleophile can any, you can take weak as well as strong. You can take a weak nucleophile or as well as strong nucleophile. Why? Because these are two separate steps. Once a carbocation is formed, any nucleophile can attack on this. Once a carbocation is formed, any nucleophile can attack on this, but in this case carbocation is not forming. Therefore in this case nucleophile should be strong. Like CN, I minus, these type of nucleophile will undergo this reactions. While in this SN1 mechanisms you can use any nucleophiles, because carbocation is forming, then you have to add or attack nucleophile. Clear? Third, If we talk about the rate, so definitely 3 degree carbocation, yeah, 3 degree alkyl halide will more reactive than 2 degree than 1 degree. And in this case, 1 degree is more reactive than 2 degree and then 3 degree. Although 3 degree is not possible in 1 degree and 2 degree is better thing to write over here, because 3 degree is not possible for SN2 reactions. If there is a 3 degree, there is some type of other reactions like elimination reactions occurs. Okay? I will tell you in later classes or later sessions. So in this case, 1 degree is more favorable or more reactive than 2 degree. Okay, so let's write it out 3 degree, because what will happen if the bulkiness increases? If there is a 3 degree carbocation or 2 degree carbocation, that means the bulkiness increases. What will happen? There is the steric hindrance. There is a steric hindrance. Steric hindrance because of bulkiness. Because of bulkiness. So therefore we have to always select the least bulky alkyl part, the least bulky alkyl part for SN2 mechanism. Okay, if what will happen if both alkyl are part of the 1 degree, if both have the same degree, then we have to select less bulky group because of bulkiness. If both are 1 degree, if both are same degree, so we have to select less bulky group. We will use this concept in our questions. We have to use less bulky groups if both are of same degrees. Okay, and in this case 3 degree is more stable than more reactive than 2 degree, which is more reactive than 1 degree. Okay, now if we talk about the energy profile diagram, suppose in this part reaction is proceeding and this is the energy. So what is going to happen? There is reactant. So reactant will go to there are two transition state. Of course they will get two transition state. Why? Because we are getting two steps. So through the one transition state we are getting intermediate. This is the intermediate, and while second transition state we are getting the product. So this is the transition state 1 and this is the transition state 2. Why? Because there are two steps. So definitely there is one step, so there is only a one transition state, but here is two steps, so we'll get two transition state. That is, first we'll get reactant, then intermediate, this intermediate, then after that nucleophile will attack and we will get product. Alright, and the difference between, important, you have to be very careful that the difference between the transition state and reactant is known as activation energy. This energy is known as activation energy. So we'll get two activation energy, EA1, and this is also the activation energy, EA2. Okay, so what is the activation energy? It is the difference between the reactant and the transition state. Difference between the energy of the reactant and the transition state is known as activation energy. And there is one more concept, that is enthalpy of the reaction. So what is the enthalpy of the reaction? Enthalpy of the reaction is the delta H, that is the energy difference between the reactant and the product, is known as the enthalpy of the reaction. Okay, so there are two concepts. What is the activation energy? It is the difference between the energies of the reactant and transition state, is known as activation energy. There are two activation energy because there are two transition states. And the other concept is, what is the enthalpy of the reaction? So enthalpy is the difference between the energy of reactant and the product, is known as enthalpy of reaction. So this is the energy profile diagram. While drawing the energy profile diagram of SN2 mechanisms, fourth point, in this part the reaction is proceeding and in this axis energy is increasing. Okay, so there is only one curve we will get, because the only one step. So this is the reactant, this is product, and this is your transition state, and this energy is known as the difference between reactant and transition state. It is known as the activation energy, and this energy is known as the enthalpy of the reaction, similar as this. Alright, so this is the energy profile diagram of SN2 mechanisms. Reactant, there is a one transition state, and the product, this energy is known as the activation energy, and this energy is known as the reaction enthalpy or enthalpy of the reactions. Alright, so this is the basic things about SN1 mechanism and SN2 mechanism. You just have to careful about this concept. This is the very important concept, because most of the questions lies only on this concept, in which we have to tell which is more reactive toward SN1 mechanism or SN2 mechanisms. So for SN1 mechanism, you just need to focus about the stability of carbocation. Stability of carbocation. This is the most important part. Whenever we will tell about the SN1 reaction, the rate of the SN1 reaction, you just need to consider the stability of carbocation. The more stable the carbocation, the more reactive the reaction, the more easily the reaction can proceed. So stability of carbocation, we know that 3 degree carbocation is more stable than 2 degree than 1 degree. Alright, but while we talk about the SN2 reaction, we have to see, first of all, there is not the stability of carbocation, because 1 degree carbocation is more reactive. So we have to see the less bulky groups. So this is the main concept. While we are talking about SN1 mechanism, we always see the stability of carbocation. More stable the carbocation, more is the reactive, and we know that 3 degree is more stable than 2 degree, and which is more stable than 1 degree, which is more stable than methyl carbocation. While when we talk about the SN2 mechanisms, we have to see the less bulky groups. First of all, we will see whether it is 1, 2, 3. If we are getting 1 degree carbocation, then definitely 1 degree is more reactive. But if we see the same type of carbocation, suppose we are getting 1 degree and 1 degree, both options are same, so we will see the less bulky group. So lesser the bulky group, greater is the reactivity. Alright, so this is the basic concepts of SN1 and SN2 mechanism. Let's talk about some questions, so we will get these concepts so much better. Okay, I have written few questions regarding SN1 and SN2 reactions. So okay, let's discuss about it. So before discussing, just we have to remember in mind that for the SN1 mechanism, what we see the stability of carbocation. Stability of carbocation, that is 3 degree, 2 degree and 1 degree. And for the SN2 mechanism, although the order is 1, 2, 3 degree, if we talk about the stability of the carbocation, the order will be 1, 2, 3 degree. But if the same if we get the same order, then what we'll get is, we see the less bulky group or less steric hindrance, or there should be less steric hindrance. Alright, so you should keep that in mind, that what we'll do in SN1 and SN2 reaction. Okay, now let's talk about the questions which will get light are most reactive by SN2 mechanism. So in this first question, we have to see the which is most in these pairs, which is more reactive toward SN2 mechanism. So I'm telling you the one part, then you can pause the video and just attempt the other questions. Okay, so if we see that, what we'll do is, bromine will leave from this part and we'll get this, in this carbon we'll get the positive charge, and while in this part bromine will leave from this part and this carbon will get positive charge. So by seeing this is 1 degree and this is a carbon containing positive charge directly attached to 2 carbon, so this is 2 degree carbocation. So we are talking about the SN2 mechanism. SN2 favors 1, 2, 3. So which is more reactive? Definitely 1 degree is more reactive than 2 degrees. So this is more reactive than this. Okay, so by using this concept, you can just pause the video and try the other questions, then resume the video and check your answers. Okay, so in second question, we'll just see the same thing. So bromine will leave from this part, so carbon will carry positive charge. So let's see, bromine will leave from this part, carbon will carry positive charge, and bromine will leave from this carbon, and carbon will carry positive charge. Alright, so what will going to happen is, their carbocation will form over here, bromine will leave from this part. So carbocation is direct carbon which is carrying positive charge directly attached to 3 carbon, therefore this is 3 degree carbocation, and from this part bromine will leave from this part, and the carbon which is carrying positive charge is directly attached to 2 carbon, so it is 2 degree carbocation. So 2 and 3, which is more favorable or more reactive toward SN2? So between 2 and 3, 2 is more reactive, so definitely this is more reactive. Alright, so in this part we will get 1 degree, bromine will leave from this part, so this carbon will carry positive charge, and similar thing is happen from this, bromine will leave from this part and this carbon is carry positive charge. Okay, so here you can see that it is carbon which is carrying positive charge is directly attached to one carbon. Alright, so it is 1 degree. Similarly, carbon which is carrying positive charge is directly attached to one carbon, so it is also a 1 degree. Both are the 1 degree carbocation. So what we'll do is, if both having the same degree, we use this concept. There should be less bulky group or less steric hindrance. So we can see that from this carbocation, from this carbon, there is methyl group, CH3's methyl group is nearer. It is in second position, but in this part the methyl group is present at the third position. So definitely there is more steric hindrance, because this methyl group is near to the carbocation, but in this case methyl group is further from the carbocation with respect to this. So there is more steric hindrance. So we always select the less steric hindrance or less bulky group. Therefore this is more reactive because there is less steric hindrance or less crowding. You can say that crowding or bulkiness. Although there are same group, there is methyl group and there is also methyl group, but methyl group is nearer to this carbocation, but in this case methyl group is further from this carbocation. Therefore this is more reactive. Alright, so in this case CH3Br, so Br will remove, so it will get methyl carbocation. Similarly iodine will removed, so we'll get methyl carbocation. So in this case you can see that both are methyl group. There are you cannot apply this concept because there is no 1 degree 2 degree, both are methyl, as well as you cannot apply this concept. Why? Because there is no other groups except H. There are 3 hydrogen, there is also a 3 hydrogen. So what we'll do it, we see the halide part. So halide part is definitely iodine will better leaving group than bromine, or you can say that, just see, there is methyl group and this is suppose bromine group. So in second part, suppose this is a CH3 Br and in second part CH3I. So methyl group will be remain same size, but iodine group will become bigger. Definitely we know that the bromine and iodine, the size of iodine is greater than the size of bromine. So this is the thing of the CH3Br. This is CH3, this is Br and CH3I. So what we are observing it, the methyl group in both the cases are the common, they are having the same size, but the bromine, and if we compare the size of the bromine and the iodine is the much bigger size of the bromine. Therefore this bond is weaker. We know that the size, greater the difference between the size, greater the size difference, lesser or weaker is the bond. Greater the size difference, the weaker the bond. So there is a greater size difference, but there is not much greater size difference, although there is also a size difference, but with respect to alkyl iodide, methyl iodide, it is lesser the size difference. So because there is greater the size difference, so the bond is weaker, therefore it will easily removed. So it will easily remove, therefore definitely CH3I is more reactive. So this is more reactive. For the halogens, iodine is more reactive than Br, which is more reactive than Cl, which is more reactive than fluorine. So this is the basic thing for the halides. If we see, both are having the same degree, just we have to see whether the iodine is present, bromine, chlorine, fluorine, and this is the reactivity order. There is iodine and there is bromine. So definitely if alkyl part is the same, then we see this order. So there is iodine and in this part there is bromine. So iodine is much more reactive than bromine because of the size difference. Okay, so this react fast. Okay, in last case, if we see, this is the 1 degree carbocation, and if we draw the structure of this, what is the structure, will get CCl, and there are 3 CH3, 1 CH3, 2 CH3 and 3 CH3. Definitely this is a 3 degree carbocation. If chlorine is removed from this part, carbon will contain the positive charge, it will form the carbocation, and carbon which is containing positive charge is directly attached to 3 carbons. Therefore it is the 3 degree carbocation. So it is 3 degree carbocation and it is your 1 degree carbocation. And if we talk about the SN2 mechanism, one is more favorable, so therefore this is more reactive than this. Alright, in similar pattern we can also find the which will undergo SN1 faster. Suppose chlorine will remove from this part, so it will get the positive charge over here, and chlorine is removed from this part, will get positive charge over here. So you can see that carbon which is having positive charge is directly attached to 2 carbon, so it is 2 degree, and carbon which is having positive charge is directly attached to 3 carbon, so it is 3 degree. So 3 and 2. And if we talk about SN1 mechanism, we have to see the stability of Avogadro, 3 is more stable, so therefore this is more stable than 2 degree. In similar pattern, chlorine will removed, so we'll get positive charge over here, so carbon directly attached to 2 carbon, so it is 2 degree carbocation, and in this case chlorine will replace from this carbon or removed from this carbon, so this carbon will carry a positive charge, and carbon which is carrying positive charge is directly attached to only one carbon, because in this side there is a chlorine which is replaced, so it is your 1 degree carbocation. So again, if we talk about the SN1 stability, 2 degrees more stable, so therefore this is more reactive than this one. Okay, so by using this concept we can easily calculate, or we can easily find which is more reactive toward SN2 mechanism or SN1 mechanisms. Alright, so these are the questions which are basically and generally asked in the competitive examination as well as board examination. Sometimes there are 3 or 4 compounds are given, and you have to just ask the increasing or decreasing reactivity order. You can easily do that by just memorizing or remembering these 2 concepts. Alright, there are much more things about the SN1 and SN2 mechanism, like there is a configuration, there is a stereochemistry, retention, inversions. Alright, so in this class I am not talking about these configurations or stereochemistry. We will talk about the stereochemistry of SN1 and SN2 reaction in some other classes. For today's classes, I think this is sufficient, and this is the only important part of this SN1 and SN2 mechanisms. You just need to know which is more reactive toward SN1 and which is more reactive toward SN2 reactions. Okay, so if you find any doubt in any problems, or if you have any other questions regarding SN1 and SN2 mechanism, you just do comment. I will definitely resolve your problems. Okay, thank you, have a good day.